Hello everyone and welcome to the Sideline, the place where you get all the highlights for your favorite South Florida teams. My name is Kenneth Bueno.
And I'm Alfredo Benegas, and the Sideline starts now. Spring football came to a close for the University of Miami as they held their spring game this past Friday night on April 15th. The event was open to fans and gives us the opportunity to look at the new Hurricanes as well as potential starters and an overall outlook on how the team will look this 2023 college football season. Drive Pink Stadium, which is home to Inter Miami, hosted the Hurricanes as the Canes offense in orange faced off against the Canes defense in white. The game ended in electrifying fashion with a 79-yard touchdown pass on the final offensive play, courtesy of true freshman quarterback Emory Williams and fellow freshman receiver Nathaniel Ray Joseph. Although the defense started out strong, the offense picked it up in the second half and secured the 34-23 victory with two fourth-quarter touchdowns. It seems head coach Mario Cristobal's program is beginning to take shape as he hopes to bring the U back to its glory days. But for now, the team looks to bounce back from a disappointing 5-7 record last year.
Things are revving up in anticipation of the Formula One Miami Grand Prix at Hard Rock Stadium, and preparations are already set for the race in May. Miami is set to host its second ever Formula One Grand Prix event after the city was granted a race date for the 2022 season. Red Bull Racing driver Max Verstappen took home the checkered flag, leading 48 of the 57 laps around the International Autodrome. The layout, which was proposed back in 2019, goes all the way around the stadium and is one of the 3 Grand Prix cities to host a Formula One race this year in the United States, alongside Austin and Las Vegas.
Things have quickly turned around for the Miami Marlins following series wins against the Philadelphia Phillies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. To tell us about the turnaround, we turn to our Marlins specialist, Kevin Barrios. Kevin, I was told this team would make me hate baseball, but I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. Is it going to last?
Thank you, Alfredo. Don't look now, but the Marlins are 9-8 and standing above 500, which is good for third in the stacked NL East. Over the weekend, the club managed to win their series against the D-backs, 2-1. Good pitching performances from Braxton Garrett and Trevor Rogers paved the way, while Cy Young candidate Sandy Alcantara has struggled recently. Despite this, the club is still finding ways to win without their ace performing at his best. Just last game, they did it with Jesus Luzardo, our number 2 starter, who struggled against the Giants, allowing 3 runs in 4.1 innings. Yet, the team rallied behind him, with Jazz bringing in a run in the 3rd and a rise in the 6th. Jorge Soler would then come in to pinch hit in the 7th with a runner on and would hit a towering home run in center that would put the Fish on top 3-2. The bullpen would be lights out the rest of the way, leading the club to another win. The bullpen being as good as it has, and hitters like Brian De La Cruz, Luis Arias, Jorge Soler, and Garrett Cooper hitting well, has ultimately helped the team win as many games as they have. The Marlins will finish their series against the Giants on Wednesday and later head to Cleveland to play the Guardians. If the club continues to play as they have, and their rotation starts to pitch how it normally does, they can be a team that could sneak into the playoffs.
The Panthers are looking for a redemption win later today after losing their first game of their playoff series versus the Boston Bruins. And we have our own NHL specialist, Tanya Jimenez, on what the Panthers could do differently for a better outcome this next game.
The hunt is on. Round 1, Game 1 of the NHL playoffs is in the books. Although our Florida Panthers lost the first game to the Boston Bruins, if they manage the small mistakes, they can pull through to the next round. This series will be a matchup of the past 2 President's Trophies winners, as the Cats won last season and the Bruins won this season. Everyone will just have to wait and see and let the President's Trophy curse do its thing. This playoff matchup hasn't been seen since the 1996 Eastern Conference quarterfinals, where the Bruins lost 4-1 to the Panthers. The 2 meet up again on Wednesday in the TD Arena for Game 2 and Friday back at home at the FLA Live Arena.
The NBA playoffs officially began this past Saturday, and the Miami Heat are off to a hot start after taking Game 1 against the Milwaukee Bucks 130-117. With Game 2 tonight, we turn to our Heat panel to tell us what the Heat did wrong, what they did right, and what they have to do to win the series going forward. We're joined by our Heat specialists, Zeth Leon and Moises Pinel, here to talk about the Heat's Game 1 win against the Milwaukee Bucks. And guys, I just want to say, considering everything that happened this regular season, the play-in loss to the Hawks, the tumultuous game against the Chicago Bulls to get into the playoffs, did you guys think we'd be up 1-0 against the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yes. Simple answer, yes. Gotta think about it. We, as an organization, struggle with a lot of things, but we also know how to play with heart. We did get lucky. Acampo did get out, but at the same time, I think we know even with Acampo in, Spoelstra really knows how to just put that defense in. You know.
The one thing about the Heat is that regardless of what seed they are, I think most teams are always going to be worried when you have to play against them, because not only do you have to play against Bam and Tyler Hero, despite him going out with the injury, but obviously playoff Jimmy Butler seems like the reincarnation of Michael Jordan, man. So because of that, I think that the Bucks might have underestimated what the Heat were going to bring to the table, and then obviously they got unlucky with Giannis going out. But we're sitting up 1-0. What are your thoughts on the series so far?
I mean, I'm thinking, Jimmy Butler has been playing great. Hero going out is going to be a tough hit, I think, to the squad, because, he can create his own shot, kind of, give Jimmy a break from going out there. We need Bam to be more aggressive, if we want to win. He started doing so in the second half, and then, the team started taking off. I think the most important thing, though, that the Heat need to focus on is their transition, defense. Like they need to stop the Bucks and then turn that into offense. Defense is the number one key to winning this game.
A big point going into that first game actually was trying to keep the Bucks in half court, and you're right about that, because if they turn this into a transition game, the Bucks are probably going to play the Heat out of the arena, and keeping the Bucks in the half court, especially if they're going to be playing without Giannis, is going to be huge for this series.
And also think about the way that Eric Spoelstra has to make that transition for the Heat, because you're going from game one without Giannis, you lose Tyler Hero, and now you have the pressure on you to go back to Pfizer Forum, win that second game, and give yourself a commanding lead heading back to Kaseya Center. So you're looking at a very interesting spot for the Heat, for not only Jimmy Butler, but for Eric Spoelstra, for Bam, all the role players that are on this team. Victor Oladipo, who might be getting elevated minutes now with the injury with Tyler Hero. There's a lot that the team needs to adjust, and they might face some of those challenges as Giannis returns.
Yeah, and Jimmy did say before this playoff series that the Heat were going to have to play near perfect basketball to win, and they pretty much did that in game one. However, because it was near perfect, that's why I don't want to get ahead of myself, because I don't think it's sustainable as of yet. The Heat shot better than they have for most of the season. They defended well. Jimmy obviously was looking the best he has, and Bam was playing aggressive, which we need from him. But like I said, the Heat shooting like this has not shown that it's going to be sustainable for any reason during the regular season. They haven't looked like anywhere near the three-point shooting team they did last year, and they're going to have to if they want to have a chance at even competing in this series. So I'm as excited as I am for that game one win. I'm not gonna get excited or get hype about the Heat potentially winning this series until I see them win another game.
Consistency is all about it. The Heat, really weird with their consistency. You always got to think about that. Look at them always. We're actually the worst team in the third quarter from the rest of the NBA. The third quarter. That's what they call
it feels like it's been that way for years.
For years. So our biggest problem is consistency. If the Heat could really just get out of that shell, I think we could definitely take it all.
Yeah,
that's very big as well. And exactly, we talk about Jimmy Butler, how he has to elevate as a player. Now it's really going to be big for the team to not try and rely on him too much and get everybody all around.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy Butler has been, doing a fantastic job, but the other guys need to step up.
So that was a great result to beat the first-seeded Milwaukee Bucks in the first game of the series, obviously, but there is still an entire series to play, and the Heat may still see Giannis the rest of the series, so we can't get too high on ourselves. Regardless, that was a great result, and that is going to be all the time we have for today. My name is Alfredo Benegas.
And I'm Kenneth Bueno. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week on the Sideline.